All right, gentlemen. No Nut November has come. I should probably not use that word. Has arrived. And essentially, what it is, for those of you that haven't heard of it before, is a month where you abstain from self-pleasuring, i.e. busting nuts all over yourself. And it doesn't mean that as soon as November ends, then you go back to your savage ways. Nah. You want to carry on abstaining from this filthy, degenerate habit, which it is, because it's usually coupled with pornography, which is in itself a whole nother demon. I talk about it a lot on this channel because I want to help fellas that are stuck, that feel like they can't escape, that feel like they're chained to it. I speak to a lot of guys that have been addicted for 10, 15 years, and it's ruining their life in every way. And that's what it does. The consequences are severe. It will ruin your self-esteem. It will affect your focus. It will affect your viewpoint of women. It's a very dark industry, the porn industry is. It's exploitative. It's very twisted. It will affect your relationship if you're in a relationship. So the consequences are severe, and there are health impacts. Negative health impacts. Premature ejaculation, erectile dysfunction, just to name a few. So when you abstain, you reset yourself back to factory settings. The average man today sees more explicit images than a man just 100 years ago has ever seen. In one day, by the way. The average man today, in one day, sees more explicit images of women than men 100 years ago would ever see in their lifetime. Just think about that for a second. Process that. In fact, to get a day, an hour of just gorging your eyes on flesh, the flesh of naked women. It's dangerous. It really is. Because it draws you in. If somebody was to see it for the first time for 10 minutes, it won't have a negative impact. But then it's never 10 minutes. That's the danger of it. And how many times have you said, well, it will just be a quick one. I'm just going to go to my usual video and that will be it. It's never that. It will draw you in and you won't be able to escape. The good news is you can escape. You can design a better future for yourself, a future away from this filth. But it all starts with you recognizing that it's negatively impacting your life. I've said this before. The first step to change is awareness. Is being aware that there's a problem. If you are unaware that there is a problem, you won't be able to fix it. Sometimes other people see that you're just ruining yourself. You're an absolute train wreck, but you can't see it. Some people may see that 4 hours of porn is normal. For someone else, it's like, what the fuck are you doing, man? That's insane. That is insane. It's 28 hours or so a week. In a month, I mean, that is insane. It adds up over 100 hours. That's what? Almost 4 days. You're wasting. Just watching this shit. Think about if you were to use that time to build something for yourself, whether it's a business, whether it's you learning a new instrument, a new language. Imagine you had 4 whole days in a month to learn over the course of a year. See, this is the thing. I've said this before. Good habits compound and you will reap remarkable stuff. In the same way that bad habits compound and you will destroy yourself. So that's why I said you can't just view one thing as, oh, it's just 10 minutes. Oh, it's just a packet of cigarettes. It's just a bottle of alcohol. It's never just. That's what gets you in the door. After that, it's mayhem. So you have to recognize that, okay, if I start building good habits, and this is what I've said about watching pornography and engaging in self-pleasure, you don't just stop it. You replace the bad habits with good habits. So it's a case of, over the next 30 days, focusing on making sure that the time that you have is used properly. It doesn't mean you can't have fun and kick back. No. I'm a very balanced individual. I believe it's important to have time off and relax with your friends and play video games. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But it's also important to knuckle down and focus. And you know what? Work harder than you ever have before. Some of you don't know what the definition of hard work really is. You think an hour of focusing on your dropshipping business is hard work. Not really. It ain't. An hour's good, better than nothing. But put in more hours. I want you to feel tired, man. Be like, damn, that was a good day, man. I got this done, I got that done. Write it down in a journal. Okay, this is what I've done today, tomorrow. This is what I intend on doing. Always make sure you write down what you intend on doing the next day, the night before, so you're prepared. You're not just waking up like a fucking accident. Oh, what's the plan today? Because if you wake up without a plan, then you're planning to fail. But also you'll slip into the bad habits. I've said this before in videos about NoFap. Free time is your enemy. When you have so much free time, the devil whispers in your ear. He comes along and says, hey, how about you just load up the good old hub and feast? And you're like, yeah, okay, I'll do that. And before you know it, the sun goes down. Your eyes are bloodshot red. Your lips are dry as hell. You've missed 10 calls from your friends, and there you are. And afterwards, after the 60 seconds of pleasure that you experience, you feel like absolute shit. And rightfully so. So make sure you focus the time that you have. And look, you might be thinking, well, Ali, how? How can I use the time? Because I always get asked this question, Ali, how? Some people are overcomplicating it. Choose something that interests you, that you want to do after work, and learn as much about it as possible. Whether it's coding, buy a course on coding. Buy it. Don't be like, well, it's expensive. Well, then you're never going to win. Because some of you say a course is expensive, but then you'll spend the exact same amount of money that the course costs on shoes or on a PS5 or on a dumb little trip to Mallorca when you're broke. Invest in you. I've said it, the best investment you can ever make is the one you make on yourself. Don't be cheap. Fly out to an event around AI or whatever interests you, man. Trading, sit down, network. You never know who you're going to meet. You never know. I mean, there's that saying, right? It's not about what you know, it's about who you know. No, there's some truths to that, okay? Of course, what you know is also important, but who you know can often accelerate your success. If somebody likes your attitude and the way you present yourself, I've found that successful people genuinely want to help people that aren't successful become successful. As long as they can see that this person takes initiative, he's possessing the characteristics of somebody that will one day do really well for himself. Man, they'll extend a helping hand. Let me pull you up, brother. I want to see you win. And if you're not around people like that, well, then you're in the wrong crowd. Actively seek those crowds. Pay if you have to. Don't be like, oh, Ali, in my area there isn't. Drive somewhere else. Come on, man. This goes back to how badly do you want to win? If you're merely interested in winning, you're not going to make it. But if you need to win, then you'll do absolutely everything in your power, as long as it's moral, legal, and ethical. So this could be a powerful month if you take it seriously. Jim Rohn talks about the first step to a better future is get serious. A lot of you guys, you're still acting like teenagers. It's time to grow up. Act the part. This will be a special, special month. Expect to win. Don't be like, well, I hope so. And hope is not a strategy. You're not going to hope. You're going to do. Cause and effect. If you put in the work, you'll get the result. If you put in the work, you'll get the result. This ain't rocket science. Is the result guaranteed? No. It's not guaranteed, but you'll make progress. Even if you don't get the exact result you're after, you're still going to make progress. You're wiser. You're better. Even if that doesn't mean that you've been paid, you're still better. And sometimes there's a slight delay between the work and the result. This is where people quit. This is where people throw in the towel and they're like, well, I don't see it. My channel's not growing after 3 weeks of uploading. I mean, they have the audacity to want to make it big and be a household name and all that stuff. But after 3 weeks, I just can't do it. Okay, be average. Being successful is hard and being broke is hard. Choose your hard. What is it you want? The time will go by anyways. That's how I see it. 2024 will come, then 2025, then 2026. You might as well put in the work now, because time will go by and you will get better and you will get the result eventually. But if you throw in the towel and you're like, well, I don't want to do this anymore, well, the guarantee is you'll stay the same. You will. This will be a special month. Focus. Get out the house more. You know, people that relapse a lot, I tell them, make sure that your environment caters to your progress and doesn't harm your progress, doesn't slow you down. If you feel like you're relapsing all the time when you're at home for the whole day, get out the house. Only come back home when it's time to sleep. Being at home all day, it keeps you in that sluggish state of mind. The whole work from home, I couldn't do it. That's why I got an office away from home. Because I want to be in an environment where it's time to switch on. When you're in your PJs and you're walking around and you've got those big fluffy socks on, you're not in work mode. All right, so make sure your environment supports your success. James Clear talks about it in his book, Atomic Habits, Environment Design. All right, focus. This is going to be a good month. Stay switched on. You can do it. And if you relapse, it is what it is. Don't be like, well, see, this is why I never get... That's a dangerous road to go down. When you start talking negatively to yourself. That's not healthy. Support yourself. All right? Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you give it a like, comment. Let me know what you think down below. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. See you in the next one.